we just finished our new coach getting started right call. So I am a couple minutes late. So sorry about that. Good to see you guys here tonight. Now it's back. So in the last one, I didn't have the waiting room issue, and now we're back to the waiting room issue. So annoying. So annoying. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our speaker for tonight. So not that she needs introduction. Everybody knows Susan. I think she is amazing, and I look up to her personally. I know so many of you guys do too. She's such a light, so positive and inspiring, and just has like so peaceful and has like this demeanor that is it's just calming, and it's like so full of joy, and she's a joy to know and a joy to follow on social media and a joy to work with. And anyway, we are so lucky and blessed to have her on our team. And she is always smiling, always positive, always looking for the good in every situation and people, and she's just the best. But anyway, she is going to talk to us. She and Monica DiPaolo had the opportunity to speak at our new leader, or not to speak, to attend our new leader conference last weekend. And so it was virtual this year, obviously. But she is going to talk to us about some of her biggest takeaways from the new leader conference. So I am going to turn it over to our 2-star diamond leader, Susan Davidson. Hold on, you're muted. Just a minute. Won't let me unmute you. Can you unmute? Okay, hold on.
Now, can you hear me?
There, yes.
Okay, good. I can start over. Well, Corey, when you asked me to do this, I didn't realize it was going to be such a crazy week. So if you don't know my story, my daughter is going through chemo this week. This is her second day. I'm at her house and been keeping the kids in the day, and she's doing great. But, part of me was like, oh, I could call and say, oh, it's a crazy week. But you know what kept me going forward to do it was a couple things. One is this team has just made such a difference for me and an impact in my life like crazy. I mean, it's hard to even explain how much. And, and the other thing is, I've learned so much about commitment by being a part of this team. And I think, when you say you're going to do something and you commit to it and you do the hard things, then that's really where you grow, and that's where you become a better person. And not in any kind of guilty way, but also Corey has taught us to treat this as a business, and I think that when we move forward and we keep doing the hard things, even during the hard seasons of our life, that's where we grow. And honestly, I have thanked God so many times that I have this, for lack of a better word, business during this time in my life, because, going through, when you're going through a valley and you're going through really trying times, one of the easiest things to do is to give up working out, give up taking care of yourself, just to let that go. And I think because I have a team encouraging me and because I have people relying on me, that it's helped me to just move forward, keep working out, keep taking care of myself, keep focused on helping other people instead of inward. And so I thought I just got to go for it tonight. So here we are. So, man, I loved so many things from the leadership conference. And they did talk a lot about commitment and some of the things that I just talked about. But there was one girl, her name is Sandy, and man, her last name is Buhadana, maybe? Mm-hmm. Is that say it right? Buhadana. Okay. And she just really, really spoke to me. And so I'm really basically going to share a lot just of what she shared and things that I took away from it and things that I want to take on from her. And so her talk was about recruiting. And, that's one of the number one things we want to do with this business is just to recruit more and to build that team and to have a team like Corey, this amazing team that of people who love Jesus and love to serve. And it's so obvious that they just really want to help people. And so she said the number one thing is to talk more about coaching and to track it. She said she thought she was talking a lot about coaching and still until she started tracking it and she realized she wasn't talking about it near enough, and so her goal is to talk about coaching every day, not a call to action every day, but to talk about it either in your stories, in your post, something like that, and it's funny, just this week, I don't know if y'all do this, but I had a post show up on my memories that I really liked, and I'm short on time anyway. And so I reposted it. And then I thought, you know what? I need to say something about coaching. That is what has really impacted me. And so I put a little bit in there, and sure enough, a girl reached out to me and it spoke to her about the coaching side of it, and so talk more about coaching. And I'm sure you're like me, like what I was just saying, coaching is what has impacted me. Coaching is what has given me this joy, and I wake up excited and have more purpose and have more confidence and going through all the challenges that you do with coaching. That is what has just grown me so much. And so, talk about that, how the community has impacted you. Talk about, she said, talk about the trip that you are working to earn, to take your husband on. Talk about your vision for your team. The people that are reading your post should know that you have this big vision that you want to accomplish. Talk about how even financially that this has helped you and your family, and talk about where you're going with this. And so number one is just talk more about coaching. And number two, she said, she talked about coach sneak peeks, and she said how her coach had their coach sneak peeks and that she would invite people to it, but she would, maybe invite one or two, and she would kind of remember the day before or the day of. I don't know about y'all, but I'm so guilty of that. Hey, you want to come tonight to our coach sneak peek? And she said when she started having her own, that what it did is it made her take more action. And she said she had a goal to invite 100 a month. And at first I thought, oh man, that's a lot. But then when you break that down, that's 20 days, 5 invites a day. That's 100. That's I feel like that's doable on a good level, not where you're just like putting out, invites. We don't want to be that person. But when you're thinking about 5 a day for 20 days, to me, that seems a lot more doable. And she had a goal of recruiting 10 coaches a week. And that's how she started doing that. And, obviously she said first month, it didn't happen, second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month, sixth month, but little by little, her team started growing. And out of those 100 that she invited, 10 might come on, and maybe only 2 coaches would want to do something, but she had 2 coaches that were wanting to work and wanting to build a business. And so that really spoke to me, and just invite people, be excited and invite them to this amazing opportunity, that we have something special. And, how many times do we see people that get on and they start talking about what Beachbody has done for them, especially as a coach. And, you just get teary-eyed over that. It's just incredible. So number one, talk more about coaching. Number two, step out of your box, step out of your fear, and have your own coach sneak peek. And, one more thing with that, I believe it. And she said, perfectionism is actually what holds us back, and I thought about that so much tonight. I kept thinking about, I really would like to have a slideshow behind me like Nicole did. I'm a teacher. I know how to do that. And I just thought, you don't have time. You can't do that. You've got to let go of comparing yourself. You got to let go of perfectionism. You just got to step forward, try something. If it fails, then you learn from that and you just keep going forward and make those goals. And when you don't hit them, don't beat yourself up. Go, okay, we'll try it again next month. Okay, let's do it again next month, and just keep moving forward. The next thing was she said to have a goal to hit Success Club 10 by the 10th, or at least if you're new, Success Club by the 10th. I remember when I was a new coach, and for a long time, near the end of the month, I was like, I got to hit Success Club and it's on the last couple of days. And how do I do that? And I actually heard a coach say this goal back a few months ago, and I started really trying to hit Success Club by the 10th. And I don't always hit it, but it's made a huge difference for me. And y'all, it's just such a mindset. It's crazy when you have that goal and you're wanting to hit it by the 10th. You work harder, you're working toward that goal. And so, she said, do that. And then she said, what you can do is get your challengers in those first 2 weeks. And she likes to have a start goal in the middle of her month, get them going all on the same day where they're all excited and they're starting. And then you get them going. And then you can work on your coach sneak peeks. You can work on coaches who are interested. You can work on growing your team. Oh, and another thing she said back to that 100 and coach sneak peeks that I left out that's really, really important. She said, once someone says, yes, I would like to find out more about your coach sneak peek, she said, dive into that person, dive into getting to know them, ask them all kinds of questions, be vulnerable with them, share some things from your life and things that maybe have been hard for you. Just really show them a lot of love, become their best friends, and grow that unity between you and your person, you and who you're getting to know. And she said, really, that is what has grown her team so much. And, when we look at our leader, Corey, I think you're just amazing at that. It has amazed me how many times Corey knew exactly on the day that I had told her that Christy was going to have something done with her chemo. And here comes Corey with some kind of message for me. And, that's huge. And it just makes you feel loved and important. And I want to be that kind of person for the people that come onto my team, the kind of person that I am communicating with, not just a business, but, a true friendship, and when I look out, through the people, Christy Kennecke was a girl I didn't even know at all, and has really become one of my best friends. And, that's what we have in our hands here. It's something, when you start talking about health and fitness with people, I think that you just get on such a deep level. You probably experienced this. You're on the phone with someone that you don't know, but they showed a little bit of interest, and all of a sudden you are on a deep level with them. They start sharing things that are really important to them and struggles that they've been through right off the bat. And so that's big to me. I've never been very good at little talks. So I like, let's just get deep. Let's go. And then she talked about managing our time. She said the difference between a diamond coach and an elite coach, she believes, were two things. One is mindset, and the other one is how you manage your time. And this really spoke to me. She said every Sunday she takes 30 minutes to schedule her week. She schedules in, her family times, maybe doctor's appointments, games, whatever, puts that on her calendar. And then she pencils in her power hours. She said a lot of us have, we know we're going to do our power hour, but it's not on our calendar. And she said that is huge. And once you get it on your calendar, you start with what she calls IPAs, and that is income producing activities. Start with that. So think for a minute, what is our number one income producing activity? What is our number one IPA? And it's inviting. So we got to start with inviting, get that done first. I know personally, I've been really guilty about spending a long time on my posts. I'll go over and do my birthdays and then, oh yeah, I need to do that inviting thing. And I hear Corey say, I don't lay my head on my pillow unless I've invited 5 people. Sorry, Corey. You come in my brain a lot in a good way. And so to do that, and then when life throws you a curveball, which it will a lot, if you start with your income producing activity and inviting, having those conversations, which sometimes it's more of a conversation, but you're doing things that will move your business forward. Even if the rest of it falls off, at least you've started with what's really important. And when we get everything on a calendar and we start learning how to put time to things, and I know for me, that's a challenge. I think something will take me 10 or 15 minutes and it's like, oh, it took me 30. And so learning to cut that off at that time and um, be more strategic with your time, own your time, don't let your time own you, then we realize that we have a lot more time than we really thought, that we did. And so, kind of to recap and to go a little maybe deeper with a few of these, talk about coaching. That's our number one thing. So, talk about coaching just a little bit every day, breadcrumbs. We're not going to be able to plant apple seeds and grow an orange tree. That's what she said. And that's so true. You know what you plant, what you talk about in this business is what you're going to attract. So if you talk about just your workouts or just your challenge groups all the time, which I know I was guilty of for a long, long time, I was scared to talk about coaching when I knew that that was what had impacted me a whole lot more than the other. What you talk about is what you're going to get. And then be brave, step out, have those coach sneak peeks, even if you don't know what it's going to look like, just figure it out. I love that book. It's everything is figure outable. I say that to myself all the time. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Um, and invite people to this amazing opportunity. Success Club 10 by the 10th. Have that goal, or even just Success Club by the 10th. Have that goal and have it in view. Just keep trying to hit it. Keep trying to hit it early and be able to have 2 weeks on the first end for your challengers, 2 weeks on the second end of the month for growing coaches. And then manage our time. Let's take control of our time, just like the program that we're doing right now. Control freak, take control of our time. Don't let our time control us. And she talked about how she used to would sit down at her computer and she played whack-a-mole. Whatever showed up, whatever message showed up, that she would start just responding to that. And she was multitasking, trying to be a mom, trying to coach at the same time, trying to juggle all these things at one time. And when she got strategic and wrote it on her calendar and knew right when she sat down, it wasn't a stressful thing about, oh, what am I going to do first? She knew that inviting came first, and she had her steps of what she was going to do during her power hour, that it all started falling into place. And then own your own time. And so this girl, I don't know if you know her, she became 5th in the company. I don't know if it was that year or what, I didn't really research her, but she just has such a sweet spirit about her that she just really caught my eye, and I loved what she had to say. And I think it has a lot of good for us. So I was pretty quick, but
That was good.
that was the gist of what I got from the leadership. I guess one more thing is just another girl talked really a lot about our vision and just how powerful that is, and just to hang on to that and to take a few minutes every day thinking about your vision. Where do you want to go with this team? Think about the team members that you're going to have coming on with you, and what kind of people that you want them to be, and to just keep going forward, never give up. Don't just work this when it's comfortable, work this business throughout. We have to show other people, one thing that's with my daughter going through cancer, that I thought, I've got to show people, and I want to be an example of, we do things when it's hard. We are courageous. We keep moving forward. And if we don't show people, then they're going to take the easy road out. I believe that we have a calling on us as coaches to show other people that you can do things, you can continue to take care of yourself, you can continue to work out even during the hard seasons of your life. And for me, I found that that's even the most important. I skipped my workout yesterday. It was a crazy day, but I worked out today, and I was like, oh, I needed that so bad. And so many people don't realize just what that will do for them. So that was the gist of it. It was a great leadership conference.
I think it's interesting that you said that, Susan, because I've had people remark to me that very thing about you, about the fact that like she's still showing up. Like, that's amazing. And I just think that that's such a testament to, to you, obviously, and to your strength and your wisdom and all of that. But I think that that's exactly, I always say, like I do when I'm going through something tough, it's also better for me, yes, to take care of myself, but also to focus externally, to focus on other people, because it's so easy to kind of wallow and get like, just, to get into your feelings and to stay there. And I feel like it's the only way that I've ever been able to get out of it is by focusing on other people and like serving other people. But it's really cool that you said that, because I think that's really noticeable in how you live your life. And so anyway, I think that that's pretty remarkable. But also I wanted to just add that so often we'll say like, I want to attract awesome coaches, business builders, whatever, but we have to remember that we are not going to attract those people if we don't show up like those people. So if you're not showing up like a CEO and you're not positioning yourself as that person, you're not attracting those people. So, I think that that's really, really important. So to kind of paint everything through the lens in all your posts of like the coaching lens. So people, when they do want to build a business, when they decide like, I'd like to make some money doing this, like they have this other friend who maybe she does Beachbody, maybe she works out, but they come to you to build a business because that's how you have positioned yourself. They know that you're the person who can teach them that. And so I think it's really, really important to show up as the CEO and to treat your business like a business, and to definitely schedule your time and all of that. But it's important to cast that vision. And we throw that language around a lot. And I think that means like telling people where you are going with your business. Like, I would like to, maybe it's buying something. I would like to buy land. I would like to, take a trip. I would like to buy my parents something. I would like for us to be able to pay off our house. I would like for us to be able to pay off our debt. Whatever it is, when you share that kind of stuff with people, number one, they get on board with you, and they're supporting you. They're cheering for you. They want to see you do that. So many people, there are people who are, haters, and they're going to be like, no matter what, who just are miserable in their own lives and maybe want to see everyone fail. But most people are going to want you to do that. And they're going to be like, oh, that's so cool that she wants to do that. And they're supporting you and watching your journey. And they're going to be like, I remember when you said you wanted to do that, and now you're doing it. And that's so cool. And so it adds accountability on the one hand, but it also brings people along on the journey with you. And then thirdly, they go, oh, that's possible? Because if that's possible, like I have some things I'd like to do too. So maybe I can do that with her. Maybe she can show me how to do that too, and especially if you're showing like the little victories along the way, I think it's super powerful. And I think it's more powerful. People very often will tell me like, I haven't made that much money yet. But I haven't done what you've done yet, Corey, or whatever. And I don't think people relate to where I am. I don't think it's relatable. I think it's much, much, much harder to share where I am than it is to share like where you are in your first few years of coaching, and where like when you're building and trying to get to whatever place or to pay off the debt or whatever. Like people don't that is so much more relatable. Like we say we were able to send my kid to this camp that he's been wanting to go to that was just out of our reach financially. And now he's able to go. And that's one of the things that we've really been wanting to do. And so like that stuff is super, super powerful to people. And that can make a really big difference in their lives. Whereas, I think, so, if the really big stuff, people don't always relate to that. But seeing like the small stepping stones, I think that's really powerful. So sharing all of that kind of stuff and where you want to go with it. Don't ever stop sharing your vision for your business, not just like your fitness, like Susan said. And it's so true. If you just talk about fitness, people will just join your challenge groups. And yes, you'll have some coaches emerge from that, but you definitely will attract a certain person, which is not necessarily all bad. But if you want to attract people who come in for coaching, then you have to share coaching.
That reminded me of something else she talked about. She said so many times people think that when you reach her level, top 5 in the company, that people just swipe up on Instagram and join you. And she said, that's not true. She said, I wouldn't even like this business if that were true. It's the challenge that grows us so much. And she said she spends hours and hours connecting with people and growing that friendship and growing that enough where they trust her. I thought that was really good too.
It's so true. It's so true. People think it's just so easy for you when you've been doing it a while and you've had success. It's not. I mean, it's easier in the sense that people know what you do so you're not having to explain like I'm doing this beach body, whatever. Like they know that, but you still have to have just as many conversations and you still have to have more connections. And I also will sometimes people will say like, well, you already have so many people. Like, are you really going to be able to help? Are you really going to have time for me? And I'm like, yes, I will, but I get that a lot. And so, I think we can use that as an excuse. So just know that we all have to connect in the same way. We all have to build the trust and build the relationships, no matter how long we've been doing it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and Beachbody, she talked about how Beachbody has given us the exact things that we need to do. And one of the people that talked at the leadership really spoke to me, because I remember for a long time, I thought, if I just knew exactly what to say, if Jody or Corey would tell me exactly what to say, I know I could get people on here, and they were like, no. Yeah. And that really stepped on my toes. It's just work. It's just learning and figuring things out and connecting with people.
That is so cute. So key. And I think if anybody's invites are falling flat, it's because you're not doing the connecting, because you're not connecting first or connecting enough. And so you just go to the invite without the middle, without the connection.
Yeah.
And I think that if you spend more time doing that, then the invites will be much more successful. But that's also why it's so important to, like I always say, whack the tree, and just to do that daily, because the work that you're doing over time is huge. It's the compound effect, right? But if you put all your eggs in those and the 3 conversations you're having and they're not ready right then you're like, oh no, I'm not going to successful. It's the 3 people I talked to, and it doesn't work that way. It's the people I've talked to years ago and months ago who come to me now, and so my points generally, at least some of them, are from people I've talked to a long time ago. Very infrequently is it somebody I've talked to for the very first time. Like my points generally don't come from people I talked to for the very first time, unless they come to me because they've been following me for a long time and we've talked in the past about things unrelated or whatever. But generally speaking, it's from people I invited a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's just so important just to play the long game and go, okay, well, I'm just whacking the tree and people will come. I don't know which people they'll be yet because I've been inviting every day for so long, but they always do. They always come. So I think it makes it easier if you look at it that way. I think it's really hard. Like you should always default to consistency over intensity. I think it's really hard to get to the end of the month and then do the work when you haven't been doing it prior. So the default should always just be consistent over time. And then you don't have to have the crazy last 2 days of the month where you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm at 1 or whatever, and I have to get 2 more people to sign up, or that's just not a fun place to be. And it's not going to really build your business either. So
Yeah, right.
it's default to consistency. But anyway, thank you so much, Susan. That was so good. It's always good to hear from you. And I just always feel, like I've said, just calm and there's such a peace about you. And I think that we all know that you just radiate joy, and Jesus is so present in you. And you have that glow about you. So anyway, thank you. And thank you all for joining us. And I will post this recording tonight. Bye, guys.
Great. All right. Thanks.